I'm not going to sit here and tell an NFL player what to do, because ultimately what they want to do is what's in their heart. But I am going to tell you this to any of the NFL players who might be listening, might be considering doing this. I want to tell you what it is that you do when you stand. What is it that you're doing when you stand for the national anthem? Because I think many of you, in your zeal to call attention to the defects in this country and maybe some of the historical problems that we have encountered together, many of you are forgetting what it is exactly that you're doing. Because the easy thing to say, if you're an advocate for standing, is that you're standing in reverence to your country because it's your country. Hoorah! And that should be enough. But it's actually so much more. That moment in a stadium where you have 95, 75, 100,000 people standing together, facing the flag, listening in unison to this beautiful music called the national anthem, and reflecting on where we are as a country, where we are favorably as well as unfavorably, these moments that make us proud, and also the moments that bring us shame, and perhaps concentrate on what it is that we can do moving forward. Doing that in unison with 75,000 other people, nobody daring to disrespect that flag, is a very important activity to be engaged in. And so when you don't do that, when you don't do that in public, when you do that in front of everybody for the purposes of quote-unquote calling attention of whatever it is that you want to call attention to, then all you're doing is you're poking your thumb in the eye into all these concepts and all these ideals that these 75,000 other people hold so dear. Not to mention all the people who are watching on television. Because we all know that there are many of us who actually stand up and put our hands to our chest, to our heart, while we're watching it on TV. So you're actually poking your thumb in the eyeball of everybody who's participating in this most sacred activity. Now, there's more to it. It's actually more palpable than even that ethereal comment. It's actually you're standing in an acknowledgement of all the things that your parents did for you to bring you up in this country. You're standing up for all the things and wonderful opportunities that you wish and pray that will be available for your children moving forward. You acknowledge the fact that although this country is so full of flaws, my God, we're full of flaws. But even though we're so full of flaws, we are still the greatest hope for any type of cohesive and civil future for humanity. And moreover, not only are you standing because you feel like you are part of that community, but you're also, in a way, giving your oath, your commitment, that you will work within that system to make it better. Because we all know we're not perfect. Now, when you don't stand for the flag, for the national anthem, and you don't put your hand on your heart, essentially what you're doing is you're casting all that aside. You're throwing it into the trash can like it was part of a garbage heap. And see, that's why it's so important to stand for the national anthem. Now, I get the prayer thing. My God, I get the prayer thing. I want so badly for us to be praying more often in unison. As a matter of fact, I agree with the players. Let's pray for the country. Let's pray for the social injustices, for them to stop. Let's do that. Let's do that before the football game. This is a great idea. Actually, they are onto something. You know what I think we should be doing? I think instead of having a bland invocation where we thank God for the prayer for the players and for all of us being here and being together and sharing this moment together, I say we actually pray. We actually have one of the players who is kneeling for the Cleveland Browns or for whatever team that they may have been kneeling during the national anthem. Give them the microphone. Give that person the microphone. Have them stand in front of the 75,000 and pray to God. Pray to God that he gives us the the civility of knowing how to live with each other, the wisdom of solving the problems that afflict us, and the goodness and the kindness to let us know that we must continue to work with each other to provide a society that's full of justice and hope and opportunity. Let's do that. As a matter of fact, I agree so much with the players. I agree so much with these players that we should be praying right before the game, that I say, let's not just do it right before the game. Let's do it in our public schools. Yeah, let's do it in our public schools. Let's do it before our meetings. Let's do it before every operation that we begin in the operating room. And let's not be ashamed and let's not be intimidated. And by the way, those of you who don't want to pray, let you not be offended by the fact that we're praying, so that we don't continue to go down this spiral of disrespect and anarchy that we find ourselves going through every single week with every single week that passes. Let's do it. Let's do it. I agree with you. Just like Nike. Just do it. So for the NFL, here's my advice to you. Let's start a new trend. Let's not just do an invocation for those games where you do the invocation. Let's instead do a bona fide prayer for the improvement of our country, for the betterment of our country. Let the players lead us. Pick one. Have a volunteer. Let them do it. And then after we're finished with that, let's do something else. Let's all stand up together and put our hearts to our chests and face reverently to the flag. And let's honor the flag as we listen to the national anthem, all of us standing. Why? Because we won't need to have kneeled anymore, because we would have already prayed. And as a matter of fact, if some of us want to kneel during the prayer, then maybe that's even more appropriate. My name is Dr. Julio Gonzalez, and these are the Federalist Pages.